2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Don't touch me. I'll beat your brains out.
You believe in miracles? Yes! I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. But that's how it goes. California. The big game over Stanford.
I think that the NFL knows what Randy Moss has done with marijuana, and I think the NFL knows what Randy Moss does with marijuana.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just
Good day, Laurent. Sacha!
And thank you for joining me.
Ha! Top of the morning. Those of you already on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, the millions listening around the world, obviously, on Blog Talk Radio, live from Hollywood, California. This is Tough Love. I'm Alistair Conrath. Top of the morning to you all. Hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday so far. I'll be honest with you, in the last hour has been frantic because I was going to do this show at the Fourth Wall Studios up in North Hollywood, and I get on my motorcycle, I cruise over to there, and I didn't realize my buddy was just in the back and he couldn't hear me knocking and whatnot, so I didn't think he was there, and so I was just like, I'm out, and I had to haul ass back to Hollywood, get everything set up, and here I am. So again, thank you, Devin, B-Rad, what up, Sacha, all you guys, good morning. Thanks for joining. So, anyway, real quick shout out to one of my best friends in life, Megan. Happy birthday, sweetie. I hope you have a fantastic day. I love you to death, and I miss you. All right. So much. So much to get to. I really need to, start putting this show to... Yeah, look at Woo, Devin. Put this show a little bit longer, but I'll try and work through it. Anyway, couple things. I find it amusing that LeBron is basically saying he doesn't know, or he's trying to stay out of the rift, if you will, between Luke Walton and Magic Johnson. We all know LeBron runs the show, right? And so now all of a sudden he says he's just hoping that the coach makes the right decisions and he's putting the faith in the coach. He's saying the right things, but, people who are smart enough can read between the lines. LeBron should just do what Pete Rose did and just play and coach. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Tyronn Lue in Cleveland proved that without LeBron, he's not a bad coach, but, he got fired. He's done. And Luke Walton, I guarantee you LeBron thinks he knows more than Luke Walton, and he probably does. So just, LeBron, just get who you want. That's it. Just get who you want. Like in Cleveland, like in Miami, just do you, and that's fine. You've been doing it for the last 10 plus years. So that I find it amusing that LeBron's like, no, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what the rift is between Luke Walton and Magic Johnson. I'm like, don't be a dick. Just admit it. Be like, yeah, I'm in charge. I run the show. And people will respect you, like myself, a lot more if you did that. That's all you need to do. Shout out to Simone Biles. This is, gymnast. I know I never, ever mentioned gymnastics on this show, but it's worth a shout out. Seriously, Simone Biles had 6 medals, 4 golds, right? At the Worlds, while battling a kidney stone. think about that. That's shocking. Just to think of the pain that girl's in. And not only to just medal, but medal 6 times and get 4 golds. Simone Biles, shout out to you, sweetie. You are just a rock star. And I don't know if anybody saw that Bama LSU game last night. 29 nuts, Bama, at Death Valley, at LSU. Keep in mind, if it wasn't for LSU's terrible offense, I mean, Bama was averaging 54 points. So for LSU to keep him to 29, it's pretty impressive, right? Dave, what's up? So I mean, even though they got shut out, here's my thing. Is it just that Alabama is just that damn good? Or is everybody else just, I'm not saying they're bad, but, it's Alabama and everybody else. It seems. I will say this. Clemson looks strong. I just don't know if a true freshman quarterback is going to be able to beat Alabama in a national championship game. I don't know. Who knows? The kid looks solid. I just don't know. I will say this. Clemson's D-line is insane. There's 3, possibly 4 out of the 4 going pro. And I'm talking first rounders. And there's back end, their secondary is really strong too. So if anybody can compete with Alabama, I think it's Clemson. I don't know if it's possible. And here's the other kicker. Alabama has won championships with A.J. McCarron, Greg McElroy, and now they've got Tua, who is wildly accurate, wildly athletic, has unbelievable pocket presence and pocket mobility. It's shocking. I said it last year in the first 2 minutes of watching that national championship with Tua playing. I was like, he's Russell Wilson. That's Russell Wilson. Only a thicker Russell Wilson. And sure as shit, he's lighting it up. He threw his first interception last night. First in the 179 attempts or 180 attempts, something like that. So he's pretty good. Tua's pretty good. And so therefore, that's what I'm saying is I just don't know if there's, Alabama's never had this. They've never had a quarterback like this to go along with the other 5-star talent. They've had 3-star quarterbacks to go with 5-star talent, and they've won championships. Now they have a Heisman, true Heisman 5-star quarterback to go along with all the other 5-star talent. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. I love watching it. Don't get me wrong. I do appreciate it. Tua's fantastic. I promised my friend last night that if Tua stays for his senior year, I will go down to Death Valley with him and watch Alabama at LSU 2 years from now, because from what I hear, there's nothing like going and seeing a Saturday night game in Death Valley at LSU. So if Tua is still there in 2 years, I'm going to that goddamn game with my buddy. Okay, so one thing I want to hit on this quick. Generally at the start of my show, there's more people watching, and then it trails off after you realize I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I just want to reference the elephant in the room, and I don't necessarily know if a lot of you know of this. I know most of the people in the sports groups that I'm with on Facebook and whatnot will know of this, but Maryland football is going through much turmoil because of a culture and obviously what made it all happen is there was a kid, Jordan McNair, who died because of dehydration and in my opinion, lack of medical attention, immediate lack of medical attention. DJ Durkin is the head coach, and it comes out that he's got a culture of fear and intimidation, and so therefore he is a scapegoat, in my opinion. Keep in mind, DJ Durkin was not at the practice where this kid fell ill and died 2 weeks later. He was not there. The strength and conditioning coach, who apparently is a dick, was there. But so was a medical staff. And their inability to make it happen and to do what needed to be done, they're, in my opinion, the ones to blame. Just because a coach has a certain culture and, not everybody says it's fear and intimidation. Keep in mind, right? It's always a few who say something, gets out to the media, and then the media is like, oh my God, it's a culture of fear and intimidation. I will say this. I was in the Army. Basic training is all about fear and intimidation and, quasi-bullying. It's needed in certain aspects of life. Military, absolutely. Football, locker room, absolutely. I'm not saying you have to it's not what you think it is, I guess is what I'm saying. Everybody thinks about it in the sense that, oh, you pussy and da-da-da and so forth. It's not necessarily that. It's just like you are scared to do the wrong thing and not to be a man. And I hate to say it like that because I know people are going to shit on me. But bottom line is, it's about being a man and being strong and mentally tough. Keep in mind, Corey Stringer, I'm a Vikings fan. Corey Stringer died of dehydration back in 2001. The coach of the Vikings at the time, Denny Green, not a word about, oh my God, it's Denny's fault and Denny should be fired. And oh my God, the family wanting justice, just like Jordan McNair's family with Maryland, sued, the university. Corey Stringer's family sued the Vikings and training staff and medical staff and stuff like that. Dennis Green never got reprimanded whatsoever. Keep in mind something that a lot of people, and again, people aren't going to like to hear this, but it is on the person too. And I hate to say it, posthumously because he's dead, but what was he doing the night before? Was he drinking? Was he partying? What was his diet like? Was he hydrated enough during that day? Obviously not. How does this fall on DJ Durkin? Keep in mind, Bear Bryant, Alabama, Hall of Fame coach, Alabama, when he was at Texas A&M, and this is today, he would go to fucking jail if this were the case. But back in the day, he took the squad from A&M to Junction City in the desert, basically. Not desert, but the pastures of Texas, where it's 110 degrees. He didn't give them water. And nobody died, thankfully. But if somebody did, obviously he would have, things would have been different. But what I'm getting at is everybody is looking at the wrong person to blame here. Just because he's got a strict regiment, like a drill sergeant, isn't a bad thing. Tom Coughlin, everybody, Michael Strahan will be the first one to tell you. He hated Tom Coughlin at the start of the season when Tom Coughlin got there. Guess who won a Super Bowl? Tom Coughlin and the Giants. And they all eventually loved him and ended up really, admiring what he was as a man. Our society today, and I've said it 1,000 times on this show, is full of a bunch of pussies. And that's all it comes down to. Our society, oh no, don't yell at me. The military now has stress cards. Do you fucking even believe stress cards? Think about this. Like if a drill sergeant is yelling at the kid too much, they're like, oh no, stop yelling at me. Stop fucking kidding me. This is what our society is trending towards, and it's fucking pathetic. I'm telling you right now, it bothers me so much. I'm not saying DJ Durkin is a good dude. I don't know him. I don't know. And if he's a dick, oh well. There's a lot of dicks out there. I'm kind of a dick at times. And I'd probably make a really good drill instructor or a football coach or a cop. But at the same time, it's just how people are. And you know what? If you don't like it, don't go to the goddamn school. You have the choice of what school you want to go to. And I'm sorry, but Jordan McNair, partially, it's his fault. Get hydrated. In the military, they're like, drink water. They force you to drink water. So is it DJ Durkin's fault, who wasn't even there that day, that kid, fell of dehydration? I don't think so. I don't know. I would make a terrible cop. I would. I'd be a bad cop. That's the problem. I'd be like, oh, you got some drugs on you, huh? Bam. Oh, I'm sorry. I just said this type of shit is a microcosm for what our society is becoming. And it's a bunch of fucking pussies, and I hate it. I hate it. Men are becoming just soft. And I don't care. Think of me how you want. Guess who doesn't get offended because I don't care? You guys can talk all you want. Everybody, it's just incredible. And so therefore, the problem at Maryland is that it got to society, and society was like, oh my God, this kid died. Who's the coach? How dare they let this happen? Fire him. And it's like, he wasn't there. He wasn't even there that day. Heaven forbid he's strict and, and demands discipline. Heaven forbid in this soft pussy society we live in right now. Heaven forbid. That's the whole Jimmy Butler situation in Minnesota right now. Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, a couple of pussies. Couple of bitches who don't want to fucking play defense, and Jimmy Butler gets on him, and our society looks at Jimmy Butler like he's a bad guy. It's just, I need to move. I gotta get away because I can't handle it. It's not gonna turn around anytime soon. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. People look, I don't know what I am. It's like, you got a dick, you're a dude. All right. Football? Anybody? Football? Speak of the devil. All right, quick thing on the Vikings. Because I don't want to beat this into a dead horse. Vikings should win today. They're at home. They should win today. Bottom line. That's it. Detroit just traded away their best receiver, and there's turmoil in Detroit. I don't think Matt Patricia is going to rally the troops, per se, but Vikings did lose to Buffalo. So you never know. Stephon Diggs is out today. Obviously, that hurts. That hurts Adam Thielen because they are going to put Darius Slay on Adam Thielen and man up on him. They might even roll somebody over the top because now all they have to worry about is Laquan Treadwell and John Beebe's kid, who they brought up from the practice squad, who, by the way, lit it the fuck up in preseason, and the kid's legit. And they got Aldrick Robinson. Kyle Rudolph's going to probably have a big game. Dino, saltpeter pills. I love it. Defensively, Xavier Rhodes possibly will miss time. Sendejo possibly will miss time. Dalvin Cook supposedly is going to play. I don't know why. Why would you play Dalvin Cook with your bye week next week? Just, if you're going to play him limited, why would you even play him? I hope that that's just a farce, and they're going to start Murray and whatever that 44's name is. Slipping me right now. But anyway, Vikings should win. All right, it should be easy as that. Vikings should win. Stop Stafford. Although Detroit is 2-0 in Minnesota and at the new stadium. And so we'll see. We'll see. It is what it is. I can't control it. If the Vikings lose, fuck them. Whatever. Obviously, everybody wants to talk about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. I will get to that in a second. But the game of the day, no doubt, just like Dino said, who dat? Saints home against the Rams. Saints, I think 7-1 Saints against the 8-0 Rams. Massive game. Huge game today. I'm telling you right now, if the Rams go into New Orleans and win that game, I have a feeling they might run the table, regular season table. Who knows what happens when it gets to playoff time? But I mean, if they, home field advantage and they get to play in the sunshine here in Los Angeles at the Coliseum, it'd be a tough road for other teams to go. Although they don't have the best home field advantage with the crowd per se compared to like a Minnesota or New Orleans or Green Bay or Kansas City. So, I mean, who knows? But if the Rams win this game today, that's huge. I just don't know if New Orleans defense is up to the task. I think that's the biggest question mark is can they get back to where they were last year? Marshawn Lattimore, is he going to be on Brandon Cooks? And if so, who's going to be on Robert Woods? Who's going to be on Cooper Kupp? Who's going to, follow Todd Gurley? There's so many pieces on the Rams offense. And, honestly, you can say the same thing for the Saints offense. Saints offense, although after Michael Thomas, it gets pretty thin at wide receiver. Traquan Smith, definitely, doing stuff. But, outside of Michael Thomas, it's a lot easier for the Rams defense to match up against the Saints than it is for the Saints D to match up against the Rams. I don't know. I really don't. The only thing New Orleans has going for it is it's in New Orleans. And I'm excited. I can't wait for that game. I don't care who wins. Honestly, I just, as a Vikings fan, I just want the Vikings to win. So I'm going into this game, the Rams and Saints, 1:25 PST time today. I can't wait. That is going to be a lot of fun. You know what's so funny? Me just being the common sense kind of guy, I look at that, I'm like, oh, it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be, I don't know what the over-under is on this game. Probably like, I would say 53, 54, probably, something like that. 28, 27 sounds legit, right? Watch it be 20-17, and just a defensive stalwart battle. That would not surprise me at all, just being that I'm a terrible bettor. I'm terrible. But you never know. So that game is on at 3. Vikings, by the way, early game. Saints, Rams, late game. And then the Sunday night game, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. I just want people to stop comparing those two. I grew up during Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. And, obviously there's arguments on both sides. I don't think it's an argument whatsoever. I think it's Barry Sanders and it's not close. And my reasoning for that, and you can do the same thing with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Flip teams. Just swap teams. If you were to put Barry Sanders on those Dallas football teams, we might have seen 2,500 yards by a running back, by Barry. Maybe 3,000 behind that offensive line. And everybody, I love the argument when people are like, oh, no. Barry needed to shift and move at the line, and I'm like, no, he had to do that because Detroit's line was so shitty. If you just gave him a gaping hole to run through, I'm pretty sure he'll juke the second level instead of having to juke the first level. Emmitt Smith, don't get me wrong, Hall of Famer, fantastic. But if Barry had those holes to run through, it's over. It's over. You put Emmitt Smith on those Detroit teams, we're not talking Hall of Fame running back. We're not. I know Dallas people are going to just hate me. And some Emmitt fans are going to hate me, but that's the reality. You put Emmitt on Detroit, and he might do half of what Barry did. Because Emmitt didn't have that escapability at the line, which Barry had to have. Anybody can just run through a fucking hole. I can. I won't get as far, but I can. And so, therefore, Emmitt had the luxury of doing that. So, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, they are both incredible at what they do. They're both surefire Hall of Famers. They're awesome, right? But I will say, if you swap teams, I think it would be a lot easier for Aaron Rodgers on the Patriots to do what Tom is doing than for Tom to go to the Packers and do what Aaron is doing. I'm not taking anything from Tom. I think Tom is, I mean, I've said it on this show a million times. I still think he's the best. But if you swap teams, it's more difficult to replicate what Aaron is doing. Maybe. And it's the same type of situation. Aaron has to be mobile because he runs around a lot because the offensive line doesn't seem to be as good as New England. And so therefore, Tom gets the luxury of hanging back. I've said it numerous times. He looks so relaxed when he drops back. It's incredible. He's just hanging back. Just like, I got time. I don't know, right there. But at the end of the day, accuracy is the most important thing as an NFL quarterback. More than arm strength, more than mobility, more than anything. Accuracy is everything when it comes to being an NFL quarterback. If you can't get it to the right spot to your receiver, what good are you? You can throw it through a fucking brick wall, but if you can't throw it accurate, it doesn't matter. So when it comes to accuracy, that's why I love Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman never gets brought up in the best ever debates, and that's fine. But there's very few quarterbacks in the history of the NFL that were as accurate as Aikman, and that's Tom Brady. Tom Brady is unbelievably accurate, and that goes a long way to being who he is. Yes, he's got a good team around him, but at the same time, he still has to deliver it. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks who can do what he does. So instead of debating Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, how about we all just sit back, take in the theater that we're going to be very lucky to witness tonight. Only for the second time, in their careers are they going to match up against each other. And how fun is it to just sit back and watch? And I love not being a fan of either team, so I get to just chill and really enjoy how great they are at what they do separately. Tom's not Aaron. Aaron's not Tom. It's just it's the same thing. Everybody shits on Dan Marino, Jim Kelly. Can't win a Super Bowl. They're not in the greatest debate because of that. Let me tell you something. You put Dan Marino on those 49er teams of the 80s, I think he's got a Super Bowl. Pretty sure Dan Marino's going to have a Super Bowl if he's on those teams. And I'm not taking anything from Joe Montana. Joe's my boy, and I grew up a 49er fan because I loved Joe Montana so much and Jerry Rice. And so Joe's my boy, but I'm not dumb. I know that circumstances are so much a part of sports that you can't discount Dan Marino because he never fucking won a Super Bowl. That's so ignorant thinking, because like I say, you take him and put him on those 49er teams in the 80s, he's got a Super Bowl. It might be one, maybe not 4 like Montana, but maybe 1, maybe 2. And all of a sudden, Marino, with his statistics and 2 Super Bowls, all of a sudden he's in the conversation.
90 seconds.
90 seconds left on the show. Cecilia, good morning, beautiful. Mwah. So, again, when it comes to this debate, I'm tired of listening to the debate. It's just like Jordan and LeBron. They're both unbelievable at what they do. They're so different as players. It's hard to be able to debate who's best. Plus, they played in a different era. I don't know. LeBron's a big dude, but he's also a bitch, kind of. He's kind of a baby, right? He complains and whines, and I know Michael did too, but it was physical as fuck back in the 80s and 90s. And is LeBron the same player? Probably. I don't know, though. But to sit there and say, oh, who's better? Michael is, but it's not a debate. You shouldn't debate about that, it's the way it is. I'm stoked for some football, though. I got about 30 seconds left, maybe. thank you guys so much for joining. I love all of you. I really do. And it means a lot to me to have you take time out of your day, Sunday morning especially. Hopefully you're having coffee and donuts or something and enjoying your day. And I'm going to go enjoy mine. So you guys have an awesome day. Drive fast. Take chances. Tough Love is out. And I will see you Tuesday night for the recap. Bye, guys. Love you.